Change is hard, not just for organizations, for you, for me, for everyone who's ever had to learn a new system, adapt to a new role, contend with a personal situation, or let go of something that used to work but doesn't anymore. We tell ourselves we're adaptable. We tell ourselves we embrace growth. But when change actually arrives, something deeper kicks in. Resistance, fear, confusion, doubt. Quiet voices that say, how do I change if I don't want to? How do I move forward? How do I define or redefine myself? And for organizations, we've always done it this way. They said a lot. Whether you're navigating a career transition, trying to break habits that no longer serve you, or simply feeling overwhelmed by a world that seems to transform faster every day, you felt this. We all have. I'm Kevin Novak, and the Human Factor podcast exists because I believe we need to understand that voice, not ignore it. Here's what makes this matter beyond your own experience. 70% of organizational transformations fail, not because the technology was wrong, not because the strategy was flawed, but because we keep treating the human beings involved as an afterthought. The same psychological patterns that make personal change difficult show up at every level in organizational transformation. The cognitive traps that cause you to resist a new approach at work are the same ones causing entire enterprises to stumble through digital or organizational transformation. The fear of looking incompetent while learning something new affects the individual contributor and the senior executive alike. When we understand these patterns, we gain tools that work everywhere. I've spent my career at this intersection, leading a myriad of transformation and change initiatives inside organizations as well as a consultant. I teach the impacts of a digital world to students at the University of Maryland. I have worked with companies, NGOs, associations, societies, publishers, government agencies, and leaders at every level. And what I've learned is this: the difference between transformations that succeed and those that fail almost never come down to technical capability. It comes down to whether we understand what's really happening in the minds of the people that we're asking to change, including ourselves. That insight led me to create the Human Factor Method. It's a psychology-first approach to transformation. And this podcast is where these ideas come to life through conversation. Each episode of the Human Factor podcast explores the intersection of humanity, technology, and transformation. We tackle questions that matter to anyone navigating change. Why do intelligent people fall into predictable cognitive traps? What makes us trust technology for some decisions, but resist it for others? How do we let go of outdated thinking when it feels so much like a part of our identity? Why does having more information sometimes lead to the worst choices? We seek to bring together leaders, organizational psychologists, and practitioners who understand that lasting change requires more than a good implementation plan. It requires understanding what makes people tick. And we do it in a way that applies whether you're responsible for guiding thousands of people through enterprise transformation or simply trying to understand your own relationship with change. Most conversations about change focus on systems, processes, and technology, while treating humans as variables to be managed. This podcast starts from a different premise. We don't offer oversimplified frameworks or magic solutions. We offer real insight into the psychological dynamics that determine whether change initiatives thrive or collapse, whether personal growth sticks or fades, whether teams embrace new ways of working or quietly resist until everyone gives up. We explore the research, share the stories, and provide practical approaches grounded in how human beings actually work. The Human Factor podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes drop weekly, bringing you narratives and conversations that challenge conventional thinking about transformation at every level. And if you want to go deeper, explore the Human Factor Method at humanfactormethod.com. Take our free transformation readiness assessment at transformationassessment.com to help you discover your organization's psychological readiness for change and gain insight into understanding yourself and how you respond and manage change. Because transformation isn't about technology, it's about people. And really, that is where all transformation should begin. Efforts fail when we ignore the human factor. So let's stop ignoring it together. I'm Kevin Novak. Subscribe to the Human Factor podcast on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, and more. And let's explore the psychology behind transformation success.